Coming up on today's show, someone is going to Disney World. Up next on Traveling with the Mouse. Welcome, everyone, to episode number 332. I am your host for this week. My name is John, and I am joined, as always, by Adam.
What's up, everybody?
And by Jason.
Why, hello. It's a whole week of 50th anniversary in the books, just about. How are we feeling?
Is there anything left to talk about? Have our feelings changed?
Anybody have a trip coming up?
I've heard that I do. Yeah. By the time you hear this, I'm actually going to be there.
You best start believing in Disney trips. Because you're in one.
You're on one.
Do you feel like the magic is in you, John?
I feel like it is, yeah, at this point. I feel I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction. Yeah, I think it's going to be.
You are the magic.
I am the magic. Yes. I'm going to make some magic. This could start sounding really creepy if we keep going down this road.
Right, you're going where the magic happens? At the most magical place on earth?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're going to need to give us a report on the ground, because the word of the week is that the nighttime spectaculars are supposedly better in person than they came across on the live stream.
Which a lot of people made judgments on, right? Mm-hmm. Including us.
I did, for sure, on Enchantment. I liked Harmonious on the live stream, as I said last week.
Right.
I still wasn't a fan of the musical score, so I don't know how that's going to get any better. But supposedly it's very stunning visually in person. So we gotta get a report on how good Enchantment looks in person.
Yeah, we have to get boots on the ground.
Yeah, and maybe I'll be able to put together my own footage of it.
Well, I wanted to ask you, Jason, now that it's been a week, you were the most harsh on Enchantment out of the three of us. Do you still feel that way, or have you settled down a little bit on your initial reaction to it?
So I've read that I should give it a chance in person, which I will.
Sure.
But all the criticisms I had last week still remain. I don't see a story in it. It doesn't flow to me.
Right.
When you stand it up next to Happily Ever After, it feels like a downgrade. I think if it wasn't standing up to next to Happily Ever After, it would be a fine show. And I think that's where the problem is. It's a fine show. It's not an improvement. They got rid of a good show for a fine show for the 50th anniversary, which is why I don't like it. Now, I like Harmonious. I think I would be more excited to go see Harmonious and then the Beacon of Magic of Spaceship Earth, because that seems to me to be number one. And then my number two would probably be, I would want to go see Kite Tales, because that seems like that's pretty exciting. Like, people seem to like it.
Out of the new things, Spaceship Earth's number one. Harmonious is probably number two for me.
Yeah.
I think Kite Tales would be fourth behind seeing Enchantment, actually, for me.
I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to say that maybe I am jumping to conclusions, but it's still underwhelming. Maybe I'll see it in person, maybe with the audio being surrounding. Yeah. Maybe the projections will be crisper than they were on video. There's a couple of things, and supposedly, the way the fireworks look and you're standing in the hub, the way they're sort of low, the way they sort of spread out, it's very pretty. So I think that has a chance of improving it in my mind.
Yeah, I just think you can't compare it to Happily Ever After. I mean, that's where it gets in trouble, is trying to compare.
And it's not like they took Happily Ever After and went a different direction for the 50th. They took Happily Ever After and built another version of it that was not as good.
As good, yeah. Or wasn't as cohesive, in my opinion, either. But it still looks like a good show. I'm sure it's fine. Don't you think they're going to do this every 3 to 5 years now anyway? And just
to keep up with their latest IP?
Right. Because Encanto, that looks visually stunning on the trailer I've seen. And the songs, if they're as catchy, which I can imagine they would be, as say Moana or anything else that Lin-Manuel Miranda's done, they're going to put that in the next show in 3 years or however long they want to wait before they change it again. So wouldn't you think? I mean, if it's as catchy as the Moana songs, I think they would definitely want to do that. And that's coming out in a couple months, so.
Yeah, I think they'll update over time. But, I mean, if I go, I think what I would do is they brought a dessert party back. So I would go do the dessert party for Enchantment.
Yeah, I've seen some people do that. The one complaint I've heard about the dessert party location, though, is that you're not straight on for the projections. So it's not the hub view. It's just slightly to the right, I guess.
Can you see Main Street at all from the dessert party?
You could turn around and see parts of it, probably. The best part about it is you're not shoulder to shoulder with people. Although, there's other people in there with you, so I can't say that. It's not going to be crowded, but it's not as crowded, I guess I should say. And you can drink. And have dessert, I guess.
That might make it more tolerable.
Drinking.
I think I would be most excited to go to Epcot first for the Nighttime Spectacular, which is a flip from how it's been for a very long time. I would have always said Magic Kingdom's Nighttime Spectacular is superior.
As you can tell, I have a guest with me.
Yeah. Do you want to? Let's ask her what she's most excited about. Which one is it?
It's Olivia.
Olivia. Okay.
Yeah, she's the young one. She's the youngest. Yeah. She's 3, and she decided to hop out of bed and come in here. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Getting shy?
Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to on this trip to Disney World?
Fireworks or rides?
Carousel of Progress.
Steakhouse 71.
You can't think of anything?
Skyliner.
Oh, yes, of course.
She loves the Skyliner. She's a big fan.
That is a good choice.
A lot of people are on the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's a big fan of the Skyliner, and it's free. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, don't say that too loud. You know who could be listening.
Yeah, I know, right? They could be listening to us. So hopefully you're tall enough to do Slinky Dog. Would you do Slinky Dog? Okay, she's nodding her head, so you can't see that part. But you're a thrill seeker, aren't you?
Slinky Dog's big thrills. Big thrills. I mean, Adam once broke the ride down with some sunglasses. That's all I'm saying.
I did, yes. So make sure to remove your hats and glasses.
She would do Rock and Roller Coaster if they would let her. I mean, that's what kind of attitude she has at 3. So she would totally do it.
There's one in every family.
Yes.
2 in mine, actually.
2 in yours?
Not really. I was just quoting Lion King.
So I wanted to get a little bit of news in. What do we think about how there's going to be some shows coming back now? Breaking news this week.
Exciting.
I know how much Olivia loves the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular, but...
Oh, yeah. She knows all about it.
What do you think about these new photo ops for, like...
The character meets?
Yeah, like Mickey at Town Square and the ones at Hollywood Studios.
Where you're going to have, like, socially distanced character meets?
Yeah, you have to wear your mask and you can take a selfie with Mickey behind you. I'm like, is that their also way of not having a PhotoPass photographer there? Looks what it looks like.
I can see why they're doing this. I feel like in some cases they use COVID as a crutch to just say this is why we're not doing this because we don't want to spend the money.
Correct.
I think from like a protecting the performer standpoint, having them hug a bunch of maskless people all day is pretty high risk. So they're not gonna. The unions definitely aren't going to go for that, and it's not the right thing to go for anyways. They shouldn't be doing that. Yeah. So I've almost wondered why they haven't done this a bit earlier.
Yeah, and now that you think about it, yeah. Why haven't they done this sooner? Maybe.
Pay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe they just didn't have enough of the cast members to be in costume for the parade floats that go by and for meet and greets at the same time.
Could be. I don't think this is an instance of cuts. I think this is an instance of that's not going to happen anytime soon. Not until we're done. And I'm okay with the masks being on because it's indoors. And you should be like those performers. You should be willing to protect them just as much. I don't think your vacation trumps their safety.
And another thing I know I think they're anticipating is that in November the travel restrictions are going to be lifted for especially UK and most of Europe for travel to the US. I think they're probably anticipating that they'll need some more crowd eaters like the stunt show and some other things coming back.
Yeah, they definitely need these crowd eaters back, and it's important to bring it back. I sent y'all the video of the Casey Corner piano guy, and it's so... I could sit there and listen to him play every set he does, and I'm going to be so excited when I walk into the Magic Kingdom and hear that music coming around, or when I turn the corner into Japan and I hear the drums going, or you go into Africa at Animal Kingdom and you hear the music playing. That's might hit me harder than when I saw Happily Ever After in person the last time, because I feel like that's them finally bringing it back. Now, when are the trams going to run? Why are they still not running the parking trams?
I don't know. I guess they feel like they're not filling the parking lots up enough yet. I don't know.
Six Flags was running the parking trams.
I know, it makes no sense.
They need Bob Gurr to fix them, probably. Make them run again. They've been sitting too long.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Maybe they're trying to just go without it and see how that, maybe they're trying to eliminate it altogether.
Now, I mean, did you see Yeehaw Bob's coming back? They're going to bring him back? There's rumors that Hoop-Dee-Doo might be coming back soon.
Yeah. I'm probably not in the majority on that, but I still love the Hoop-Dee-Doo. I just think
I do too.
I think I guess, nostalgia of it, or just the fact that it's been around so long. And it's still a funny show. It's still a funny
it is.
Show.
It's not as good since they made them change the music, but it's still good.
When is Jelly Rolls reopen? That's what I want to know.
Right.
Some dueling piano action. I still need to go there. You guys had a lot of fun there.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I don't know how much my wife remembers, but...
Oh, okay. So
how much do you remember?
Oh, my gosh. Jelly Rolls is
back?
Opening on October 15th.
Not long.
A week?
Close.
Depends on when you're hearing it.
Exactly. When are you?
Now, we might have to just make a special trip just to go down to Jelly Rolls.
Like a weekend, go to Jelly Rolls.
So how much are you going to partake in some of the entertainment coming back, John? Are you going to make it a priority over the next few days?
I'm going to say, is it actually going to be there when I'm there? It sounds like it's going to be after I'm there.
I thought the drummers are already back in Japan and stuff like that.
I will definitely be going through Japan, so I'll make a point to see that. So, yeah. Jason, I'd hate to break this sad news for you, but all signage for Happily Ever After is now removed from the hub. It's finally been removed.
Like the posters, you mean?
They were still up. They were still up until pretty much like today, I think.
Yeah, I saw the poster when we walked out Magic Kingdom last week. So yeah.
Sorry.
Sadness.
I didn't mean to worsen the depression concerning that.
You know what? When's Fantasmic coming back at this rate? Let's just.
I was just rubbing salt in the wound.
Right, Spectro Magic. Bring that back. Wouldn't that be fun?
I would be okay with that.
I would
soundtrack. Too. I actually prefer that soundtrack over the Main Street Electrical Parade. I might be in the minority there, but I do.
I like them both. Main Street Electrical Parade is very dated for sure, sounding.
Yeah. Some more heartbreaking news, though. Lift Hill taken down as demolition of Primeval World continues. More heartbreak. Right?
I want this in my backyard. That would be cool, right? But I guess that won't happen now. It looks like they're just destroying it.
You could probably build this attraction in your backyard. I mean,
wouldn't take much.
Isn't it interesting, though, how they aren't even trying to hide this because nobody's going over there?
Probably, well, I guess, yeah. They don't have much of a construction fence around it, do they? From what I've seen.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's like a mesh fence, so you can kind of see through. Yeah, for most of it.
I had seen like a Facebook post or something among this, and they were asking about it, and I was like, all I said was "good riddance" whenever I put in the comments. Some people were like, "Oh, sad." I was like, "You gotta be kidding me."
It was not a great ride, and as far as the challenge stuff goes, this was a time sucker.
It was okay, but it was not Disney level. is the point.
It was an off-the-shelf ride from a park in like Europe somewhere.
I would barely be okay with this being in Six Flags. Okay,
Yeah.
This is more like a carnival. This is more like roadside, set it up every go on the road type ride.
We know that. I mean, you can argue with Joe Rohde about that. Yes, that's the theme of Dino Land.
That was
but
the
it's
theme,
still a
yes,
horrible theme. It's a horrible theme.
Yeah, it's a bad theme, bad idea.
Why would you want your theme to be bad theming?
It was cheap.
Right.
Okay, so
Anyway.
the day that you can start booking, I think is it the 26th of October? I believe it is.
For what now?
That you can start booking your Star Cruiser reservations. So it's not far away.
Yeah.
And I did also see on there for an extra $30.
It says
28th. Okay.
Yeah.
So for an extra $30, you can dine with the captains. That's less than I thought it was going to be, truthfully, for that. What do you guys think?
That's the cheapest upgrade they've had for the whole thing.
I think that somehow that didn't get through final review because I think they missed a 0.
Yeah, a couple of zeros.
That's what it says. I'm just going by what it says.
Maybe that's part of their coupon day or something.
A coupon day. I think this was Gennaro.
I think this was too.
Let's see. It's kind of, I don't know. We've covered some of the bigger news stories. Truthfully, it's kind of slow as far as news goes. Don't you guys think? I mean,
well, what
nothing
we
too
didn't talk
exciting
about last week is we recorded before the official 50th happened. So
just barely.
Kind of during, but before the parks open.
Yeah, day of.
Right.
What interesting things did you see as you were observing that happened?
The fights on Main Street at the Emporium.
There were fights on Main Street at the Emporium.
The 2-hour popcorn bucket lines, that's what I kept seeing.
I noticed that there was a 2-hour popcorn bucket line while there was like a 15-minute wait for Mine Train.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, ride times were low.
But wait
merch
times for food. Food, too. Mobile order.
Food and merch.
I heard that it took people to get 3 hours for a hamburger from Cosmic Rays. Talk about sadness.
Yeah.
Whew.
And waiting in line for like an hour after you checked in saying your food was ready.
So apparently if riding rides is what you wanted to do, it was a good day.
Yeah, if you brought your own food.
Well, on the 50th, Scott Kumka set a new points record that day for every ride challenge. Yeah. He started at Epcot. He's the first to complete Epcot with Ratatouille. He rode everything at Epcot, Animal Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios that day, and then went and wrapped up quite a bit at Magic Kingdom at night because they had reopened. Because there was a while there that they were going to not let anybody else into Magic Kingdom, but then they did. So that's what I saw. I saw that they didn't really do anything different on the welcome show.
Nope.
That was a little disappointing.
And I think most people were right when they were saying that Bob Chapek and Bob Iger did their thing the night before with the press event versus doing it in front of the crowd of Disney fans who would probably boo both of them at this point. More so Chapek, I think, but or should say Dr. Evil. I don't know who Evil. I should say.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I
just think that they didn't want any part of, like, he was there the day of that morning for Good Morning America, but he did not say anything. Nobody said anything. Nobody had a speech. Nobody said. They barely did anything. So a lot of people were.
It is maybe a symptom or a symbol of his tenure. He is Mr. Merchandise, and it was all about the merch.
Yeah, and that's what pretty much most people did all day was wait in line for merch.
Let's be honest, though. This day was going to be all about the special stuff anyway. I mean, no matter what it was. It was going to be all people were going to be waiting in line to get whatever merch was out, whatever food, all that. I mean, that was going to be it all anyway.
That was going to be the Bob Chapek way. But you could have had a special stage show. You could have had... They could have done a few nice things.
what's the guy's name? Jeff Vale or Valley? What was his name? The guy who's the president of Disney World now. He didn't say, like, he had a pre-recorded message that played, but he didn't have like
his
speech
presence
or anything.
wasn't felt.
Yeah, and Josh D'Amaro, nothing.
There was a picture of Josh D'Amaro taking a picture with a lady that had a Josh D'Amaro shirt on.
Yeah. Well, he was there, obviously. I mean, he's actually the one people would have really enjoyed hearing say something because they like him. So,
yeah.
But yeah. Maybe, you think Chapek is jealous of that, by the way? I'm just curious. Sorry, Dr. Evil, you think?
I don't think he thinks about it.
You think he's jealous of number 2?
He probably doesn't like that everybody likes Iger and D'Amaro way better than him.
Right.
I was going to say, the younger version of number 2, Rob Lowe, actually, I could see that being sort of, like, that's very Josh D'Amaro-ish, right?
Did y'all see the interesting thing on the commemorative poster where it was $150 for the commemorative poster? Right. $150 for a poster.
Right, yeah.
But there was someone had gotten the poster and they saw that there was a second price tag put on top that said 150 and the price tag underneath it was 110.
Yeah.
So
they
changed their mind.
I saw that too, yeah. Well, if you'd noticed that before, you could have peeled that 150 off and then just paid 110 for it.
Well, why go that far? Just peel the 0 off and pay 15. I mean,
peel the whole thing off and just take it out and steal it. Oh. Sorry. No, but so there was a few freebies, like the new park map they gave folks for that one day, I think. I don't think those were anything past that. And when guests left the park, they gave them a poster of some sort. So
what you just said a minute ago raised an interesting question, though. I mean, because Disney's security is really good. However, on a day like this, do you think there's probably some people that did get away with shoplifting?
It's possible.
Yeah. On a day like that.
It's possible.
A madhouse.
I mean, you never know. I'm sure people try every day.
Yeah. I know they typically have, like, the undercover Disney police, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. That's
the magic police.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much just basically you could be standing next to one, you know, when you're in the park anyway. I mean, because they look like average guests, from what I understand, the ones that they really have for this. But because I have seen some people get caught before, believe it or not, over something like that, and the people that caught them looked just like a regular guest. So they do that. They're undercover.
Right. Yep.
All right. Cast member compliment feature is now available in the My Disney Experience app. Maybe I'll get to use that so I can right then and there compliment a cast member.
Which I think is a good thing. It puts it on the Disney app where you know somebody will see it rather than Twitter hoping that you get the hashtag right or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's something they should have worked in the app anyway.
Yeah, I think they should have done that a while back. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I'm glad they did it, though.
Yeah. But at least they're doing it now.
Yeah.
App's actually looking pretty good, by the way. It seems to be moving fluidly lately. I mean, you know, that's the best thing.
I'm so surprised you said that leading into not only a trip, but also the potential release of Genie Plus any day now, you know.
By the way, you were wrong on that.
Yeah, I was wrong about October 1st. I have been seeing I've been seeing rumors that this was the week, but, you know, we're already coming up on, by the time of this episode is done, it will already have been the end of this week. Because I had been seeing rumors in different places on the internet that said, like, week 1 of October. It's kind of looking like that's not going to happen either.
Right. Well, next week in your trip report, if it does come out, you can tell us what you saw.
The vintage attraction posters they have on display, by the way, I'm definitely going to enjoy seeing that at Magic Kingdom. That's going to be cool. It's going to bring back some memories in some cases. I do have a Steakhouse 71 reserved for my upcoming trip. And it's been getting a lot of good reviews, good compliments on it. So I'm pretty stoked about scoring one of those.
I did peruse the menu, and I think the most expensive entree is $38. So it is, from what I've heard anyway, it's signature level at table service prices. So
well, and in all fairness, a lot of their restaurants do start out that way.
Right. The prices will go up if the popularity goes up, but, you know.
I was going to say, one of two things is going to happen here. Either the quality is going to go down or the prices are going to go up. That's usually one of the two roads that this takes.
So I guess we're not going to be able to ride the Steakhouse 71 because it's going to be too popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a while it is. It's going to be hard to do that.
Doesn't roll off the tongue the same way.
Right.
Ride the Steakhouse 71.
Can't say ride it.
Can't really ride a steakhouse, so.
I don't know. There's got to be some clever way to say that, but really it's such an unclever name in the first place. I mean, I know what the reference is, but overall it's an unclever name.
I mean, I know that our go-to has been to park at the Grand Floridian, but that's still not really a good viable challenge option because that is such a long walk.
It's a much longer walk, and we noticed when we left Grand Floridian's last time, the road rerouting was kind of crazy too, getting back to World Drive. It was a little confusing.
Yep.
So,
what's going to be your plan this week, John, when you head over to the Magic Kingdom? Are you going to park at Magic Kingdom parking?
Probably. I don't know. Because, I mean, like you said, no trams. Yeah.
Are you going to spring for preferred when you go park at the parks this week?
I was about to say that. I was like, springing for preferred is probably going to be the option I'm going to go with.
Well, it's only $25.
Yeah, annual pass holder. It's only $25 on the weekends, $20 on the weekdays, extra.
Yeah, it'll totally be worth it. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen.
I feel like I've done preferred one time at Magic Kingdom because we never ever park at the parking lot for Magic Kingdom.
I've done it once when I thought I just didn't want to have to walk all the way to the TTC.
It's
it
still
gets you very
long.
close to the TTC.
Sure, but you still got to walk, and then you got to either decide, am I doing the ferry boat or the monorail or a bus, and what am I doing?
I mean, for leisure activity, it's not a terrible way. Like, it's kind of a fun way to go in, but we never really want to waste the time. But I like the ferry boat. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love looking around at the resorts in Seven Seas Lagoon. It's really pretty. So it's a nice ride.
As of right now, and like I said, I already mentioned you guys, when I first get there, we have a Ohana scheduled. We might just hop on over to Magic Kingdom then and see what's going on just a little bit there, maybe the fireworks like we talked about. If I do that, obviously I would take the boat from Poly because that would probably be the fastest way from there. Monorail might be. I don't know. Depends on the timing,
right? Yeah, but I think the monorail will probably be faster to me. But
yeah, well, I mean, at the Poly, the boat that's right out front in Poly, though, I mean, it's the very first stop.
Those boats go like half a knot.
I always thought that was a little faster than the regular ferry.
They don't seem to go that fast to me.
I think part of it is load time, though, because it didn't take long to load that one because there's not near as many people.
Perhaps. Did you see this, though, John? You'll get to experience this, too. It says pass holders, when you go through the tap styles now, will get a special color and sound.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I'm gonna definitely have to report back on that, right, and see how that's going.
Yeah. That'll be interesting to see what does it do.
Yeah, exactly.
What color does it change too? Because
I mean, and does it matter if you're like brand new pass holder or
I would hope not.
It shouldn't matter. It's gonna give a different sound.
One thing we didn't mention in our trip report last week was having to reestablish our fingerprint, and so with the kids. They just put a finger down, and then the next time we're like, wait, which finger did you do last time? And of course they don't remember, so they do the wrong one, and you get the blue, flashing blue, because they don't remember which finger they put down, and so you have to keep track of that again.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a Jason, though, and just like put every Magic Band I own and bring it with me. Ride Small World. Oh.
Oof, we didn't finish Small World when we did it last. So.
Yeah.
You always got to have an extra. Are you going to spring for the 50th Magic Band, the fancy one?
Yeah, I'll have to.
So like Magic Band plus or whatever, the one that like lights up and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I don't think
those come out next year.
I can't guarantee that if I see something in person that appeals to me, I might go ahead and get it. I don't know. With Magic Bands kind of being. I'm still going to use them. Don't get me wrong.
They're not out. You get one when you go stay at the Star Cruiser.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know they're not out, but they're not like everybody's getting them anymore. So it is a little different. It's interesting. I feel like I'm more inclined to buy the special ones now. I wonder if that was their their whole idea with doing this in the first place, making people more inclined to buy the special ones.
Yeah. What they're gonna do is they're gonna bring out the Disney Vault again, and this Magic Band is going back in the Disney Vault,
right?
Just to make them more sought after.
Every time I've looked at the Magic Bands, there's been some that I've liked, and I like the design and everything, but I've never just had one come across and I'm like, that's the one. That's totally me. You know what I mean? I've never had one that just screamed me, basically, as far as how they designed it.
You mean you're not looking at... I mean, the NBA Experience one, I think, is still available if you really want to get it.
Yeah, I bet so.
Yeah, we noticed, too, in the Everything Pop store this last week, they had a lot of NBA stuff in there.
Yeah, they were trying to sell all the jerseys and stuff. I'm like, I see you. Right. Just like, where can we dump this stuff?
Right. What shop that we can fill up with stuff that, you know.
I was going to say, did you see Bob Iger in there making a purchase?
No, but if he did, that's where he would be.
I mean, I am a Steph Curry fan. I saw the Curry jersey there, but I'm like, why would I buy a Steph Curry jersey at Disney World?
Right, because you're probably paying more for it than you
twice for it, twice the amount. Because it'll have Disney on the tag,
right? Okay. Well, the tag that you cut off. Is there? I was just going to ask you: is there any merch that you're interested in buying for the 50th that you liked, or are you a merch guy?
I'm not really a merch person most of the time. If something catches my eye that just like I said, this just really stands out. I'm not one for like getting a bunch of things. I'm very selective when it comes to that sort of stuff. I'm like, this is what I want this time. You know, I don't buy a ton of merch as it is. Yeah. I'm sure my daughters will want everything they see though, so I'm gonna have to curb that a little bit.
Yeah, they keep releasing more and more 50th merch.
Yeah. If something really just grabs my attention, this is like classic that I really like. I mean, that's kind of what I go for, classic looking style stuff. Matter of fact, the Epcot shirt that I have is kind of the classic look. But Haunted Mansion, of course, if there's something that's well done with Haunted Mansion, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the type of merch I would go for, stuff like that. So a little bit of a preview as far as I'm staying off property. We actually got a really good deal on an Airbnb. That's off property. Yeah. It's not too terribly far away. It's pretty close. It's close enough to Disney. It's close enough to the main entrance. It's closest to Animal Kingdom, actually, if I'm going to say which one is closest to distance-wise.
Right.
But it is in a neighborhood that's just on the other side of 192. So it's similar. I've stayed on the other side of 192 before in a similar... I stayed in a resort, though. I stayed at Mystic Dunes, which is also usually a pretty good rate for a good size room as well.
Right.
We're getting a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house through Airbnb for roughly, I think it was $120 a night or something ridiculous. I mean, it's something ridiculously low when you think in comparison to other things. And, you know, it's got a pool that we can have all to ourselves. I'm interested to see how well this does. I've never done Airbnb at all before, believe it or not. I've not really sprung for that. Have you guys ever done an Airbnb?
Oh, yeah. We do it all the time.
And Vrbo. We've done both. Yeah, I've done...
Verbo, that's what you call it?
Isn't that what they call it? Verbo?
I thought it was VRBO. I thought you said the whole letters.
I thought you call it Verbo.
Vrbo.
That's what I've heard.
Like I said, Vrbo. But no, I've never really used Airbnb, but it looked like they had a lot of places in the Orlando area for a good rate, so...
Yeah, I'll say this. I have not used one for Orlando.
Disney. Right.
But we've used it other places.
I mean, we're essentially doing that this weekend when we go down to... the beach.
Finding a place for this time and staying with Disney that didn't cost me an arm and a leg was difficult. So that's another one of the reasons why we opted to do this, because it was hard to find a room that wasn't $1,000 a night. I mean, or somewhere in that range at the time.
Yeah.
So,
and there's no discount right now for this current time. Right? Yeah.
No, there's not. I mean, there's some more stuff that became available as time got closer, of course, because they probably either had some cancellations or they held it back or whatever you want to call about what they did. But still, nothing that would beat what we got. So, I mean, and what am I getting when I stay? Like we had talked about before, 30 minutes. Is that pretty much what I'm getting? A little bit better transportation depending on which place. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So,
I mean, you could stay deluxe and get that extra hour.
Well, I would have had to have spent more for one night than I'm spending for the entire 5 nights
exactly.
where I'm staying.
Right.
Well,
so,
I mean, but you get that hour.
Yeah.
For
5 hours, versus
Not to mention,
nights.
if it stays consistent, I'm kind of hoping if it stays consistent, like from about 3 p.m. on has been pretty tame at all the parks. It's like their busiest hour is right there around lunchtime, and that's the way it's been consistently being, wait time wise. So evenings, afternoons seem to be the time to be in the parks.
Yeah.
Other than the first hour. But yeah, afternoons seems to be the time to be in the park, so that's probably going to be our plan, is to not really push it, and just kind of go in the evening mostly, since the hours are still relatively long and compared to that way it's been in the past, right? So yeah, that's probably going to be the plan.
Yeah.
Not be in a real rush to get to the park per se, because by the time you get there, it's probably going to be at its busiest point, right? So
yeah, with small kids, you hate having to rope drop to get stuff done, which is why we love the FastPass Plus system so much.
Yeah, and what I've seen is outside of the first hour, right, it got kind of busy up until evening. And that didn't matter which park you went to. I'm hoping that trend continues, and I hope not everybody has noticed it just yet. I had a couple of other dinings that I was looking at and kind of reserved. There's not a ton that's... Because I've just been playing with it. Obviously, I didn't do this well in advance, so I've just kind of been looking to see if I can find any other things. Definitely going to do the Food and Wine Festival, so you don't really need a dining reservation when you got food and wine going on, right? You can just make food and wine your meal.
Yeah.
So, and there's good quick services all around, mobile orders. Definitely I enjoy the mobile order feature. Stuff like Satuli, of course, is on it.
Yes, Satuli. Yeah, there was one point in our trip where we were debating about just going to Animal Kingdom just to eat at Satuli. We had that discussion.
That would have been fun.
Well, with who we're going with, they haven't even done Flight of Passage thus far, so we got to definitely go to Animal Kingdom for that experience. But, I have each park reserved. And again, depending on what I do, I might change my reservations. I think I'd mentioned that in Messenger. I was like, I got each park reserved so far just for it's like kind of like just so I can say I have it, right? So if we do what we want to at one and able to park harp and do what we want to at another one and get that kind of stuff done in early in the week, the weekend might be kind of wide open as far as to what do we want to do, right? That sort of thing. And, when you have a house like we have, you definitely want to spend some time in it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, kids will want to be in the pool for a while.
Yeah.
You can relax a little bit.
Well, the thing is, the house is kind of like on a resort in a way, so you actually have access to some of the amenities as well that they have that are public there, which they have a public-style pool and a splash pad and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Game room, so might do some of that, But I'm looking forward to it. It's probably, let's see, when I actually went to the parks was last November, so it's almost been a year, I think, since I went to the parks. I've been on Disney property since then, but it's been almost a year since going to the parks last, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Almost.
Well, that'll be cool. You get to see a lot of new stuff.
Yeah. Not too concerned after testing it out, especially as many boarding groups as they've been getting. I'm not too concerned about Ratatouille, obviously. It's not the same challenge as Rise was, but because they've been getting, like, backup groups have been, like, easy to get from what I've seen, right? You've seen them available after the start, even
after
if even if you have to get a backup group, it seems like they've been available well after one, and don't have to do it for Rise anymore, so I don't have to be concerned about that. Maybe it actually exists in my book now. Oh, I haven't done Baseline, obviously, and I know you guys always talk about Baseline, so I'm gonna have to stop in at Baseline.
Well, are you gonna rope drop it? Because that's the method to.
That's the method. Is
Our madness.
Rope drop Baseline. Yeah, it's possible.
If you got a group big enough, you can take that inside table too. So you can be the first ones in and also grab that table. There's that one table inside. That's it.
And that's it.
There's like some little things along the windows individuals can sit, but as far as like a group of like 5 to 8 maybe, I can't remember how many chairs are in there, but you can.
Well, if I end up at Baseline or Bar Riva, I'm definitely gonna have to let you guys know at the moment.
Why is it an either or? Both.
Well, you know what I mean. I'm not saying I'm choosing one over the other. I'm just saying when I'm there, or I have to definitely let you know.
You need to go to Baseline.
Well, you're gonna have to give me your suggestions at this point, since you've
Are
been
you a beer
obviously.
drinker?
I mean, I do.
Because I like the pills. I like most of the beers they got there, but they do have that one cocktail that our wives like to get as well. That's really good. But I mean, the charcuterie is get a charcuterie and get the
puff,
the
coffee rubbed beef puff pastry, whatever it's called.
Yeah. Well, if I'm gonna get something alcoholic, it's gonna have to be something that's gonna be relatively strong. So
and make sure you get the large if you get the beer. But don't settle for the little one.
Yeah, you get like the 22 ounce for what is it, like $12 or something? What is it?
Yeah, it's not bad.
I forgot what it was, but for Disney prices, that's not bad at all. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
For a 22 ounce beer, yeah.
No.
So yeah, and it's a good. They're all good too. So.
So yeah, hoping to get all the nighttime shows in as well. I mean, I should be able to do that with ease. So that's because I definitely want to see Harmonious in person, see them in person, like you say, and see how well that does. So
right, a lot of people say the live stream was not a good version, like not good to see it. You had to see it in person, so we'll see.
So I'm just throwing it out there. Any chance at all, or any possibility you might take a little trip over at some point?
I would really like to. I mean, if I was to go, okay, I'll tell you what I would do.
Yeah, what would you do?
If we could get like a day, maybe say a Sunday, I would try to get us to the rope at Epcot, do some stuff there, ride the Skyliner to, we have some people there, and let's say they were with us that had never been. I would want to rope at Epcot, let them do a few things there, Skyliner over, do Rise in the afternoon, because it seems like the lines get short for Rise in the afternoon, and then ideally just ride that Skyliner line. I know the new folks would probably want to see Magic Kingdom, but I would just stay on that loop. Just maybe go back and watch Harmonious and drive home. It's an hour and a half. It's not that bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I would want to see Spaceship Earth lit up. These are the things I want to see. Spaceship Earth lit up.
When Epcot was still, and it's still kind of going through it, when it's going through its construction phase as it is right now, I kind of questioned whether I could call it my favorite park, but then I got to see the parts of Epcot that I loved about it in the first place in a lot of ways, and I'm like, yeah, it's still my favorite park.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is. I mean, it's something about the atmosphere that I really like. The music, even though they've changed it, it's still in the Epcot style. Being able to, get a taste of several different countries in one day, right. Things like that. It's just, that's my, I guess as I got older, that's my reason why I love Epcot pretty much more than I do the others.
Yeah.
So
I feel like Guardians is going to deliver too on being probably the best new ride of the last 5 years or so, since Flight of Passage probably. Maybe. I mean, again, Rise is great, but we'll see if I think Guardians could be more of a thrill because of the coaster element and the different technology they're using. So
the one thing about Epcot is you're going to get your exercise in. That's for sure.
Well, yes, yeah. I know they always say, Animal Kingdom is the biggest park, which is true, but the most walking by far is Epcot.
Yeah, it's the biggest park area-wise because they have an entire safari right. on one side.
Yeah, if you look at the map,
there's a good portion of the park that's inhabited by the animals, believe it or not, in a park called Animal Kingdom. How dare they? As far as the parts where you actually walk to, it's not that big as far as that part goes. The ones you do definitely walk stand the chance of walking the most is most definitely Epcot because it's spread out. That's where you do the most walking.
Especially now with Ratatouille, you have all four corners of the park with something in there to do to draw you in. So yeah,
what's
a full
in the top
day
left corner.
Well, not the top. Well, okay, close. I would say the closest would be Frozen over there. Is what I was kind of saying.
Oh, is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah.
I was going to say, they almost have attractions at four corners of World Showcase. Almost. I don't know.
Yeah, not quite, but close. Yeah.
Not quite. But Canada Fur and Wine's not open, so
yeah,
that counts.
Well, if Mary Poppins was going to open and didn't get canceled, you would have had something over there.
And I'm kind of
You
excited
can.
to see what, like I said earlier, what I can get Livy on, because I know she likes to do that. I'm hoping she's right there at the 38-inch, which would put her in the Slinky Dog, which would put her on Slinky Dog, Collie River Rapids,
Mine Train.
Mine Train, and there was one more. What was it? There was 4, I know. Oh, Smuggler's Run.
Yeah, Smuggler's Run. Yeah.
So there's those 4 she would be able to do. I'm really, I mean, because I know it's going to be just how picky is the
Right.
cast member.
Yeah,
That's probably what it's going to be on.
If their hair is touching the top of the little measuring stick,
Right.
some of them will just let them go in. But then you've got the second one at the boarding area that you've got to get.
I know you got to
to
pass 2 in this case.
Yeah. So I remember with my son, it was Smuggler's Run was close. It was very close.
Maybe I can pat her shoes or something.
Yeah, we did do that actually with Smuggler's Run. The first time he rode it, we patted his shoes to make sure. Anyway, yeah, you've got lots packed into this trip. So you've got lots of new dining things to talk about, the new nighttime shows. So there's lots. There will be lots to hear next week. So
yeah, I'm keeping my goals park-wise relatively small. I mean, there's only a handful of things. When it comes to Magic Kingdom, whatever the kids want to do, but for me personally, I want to do the Mountain Range and Haunted Mansion and Pirates, maybe. I mean, stuff like that. Jungle Cruise, because it's a little
the
bit
classics.
different. So stuff like that. I mean, I have small goals over there, nothing earth-shattering.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Ratatouille is a goal. Getting them on Flight of Passage would be a goal. Things like that.
Rise. Are you going to try to rope Rise?
Yeah,
or just,
Rise. Yeah.
Just get on it at the end of the day. Maybe?
I really, based on what I've seen, and as Jason just mentioned a minute ago, I mean, the afternoon times have been
low.
Yeah, it's been low enough that I don't think I'd have to really rush anything.
Yeah.
You know,
I think if you tried to rope it, you might be in the longest wait you'd have all day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, like I say, if that trend continues, seems like later is better. Yeah. And in some cases, if you wanted to wait till the very end of the day, it's probably even lower, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, we've known from experience that Runaway Railway is a walk-on at the end of the day.
Yep.
Right. There's a few other things that are, but yeah, I'm trying to think. There's nothing in particular other than, like I said, I've never done Ratatouille and I've never done Rise, things like that. Members of our party have not done Runaway Railway, which that was going to be done anyway. That's like a staple now.
Yeah.
So.
It's a great ride.
Good stuff. Hoping to get some good food in. Maybe I can pull another dining that's unique in there. But
get Space 220 in there.
Yeah.
They might have a walk up. What do you call it?
I have become
standby.
Yeah, possibly. I have become an early riser. I mean, I've just about. I would say I'm kind of like.
It's because you're old.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I still kind of stay up a little bit late. I mean, I actually find that I function probably best on about 5 to 6 hours of sleep. So, I mean, it works for me. So I can't explain it, but it works. I mean, it depends on when the 5 or 6 hours are. I guess I should put that. If it's about midnight to 5, 6 a.m., then it's better than if I stayed up even later or went to bed even earlier. But I think it's all about consistency. Is really when it comes to sleep. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. Different people. I mean, The Rock claims he only gets 2 hours a night. So I remember seeing that in an interview with his.
What? That's crazy.
That's what he says. He says he only gets about 2 hours a night.
That's not healthy.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to look at him and say he's not healthy, but I don't know. There could be more going on there.
14 hours. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Well, who is it? Wasn't it Tiger said he got 4 hours?
I've heard him say that. Yeah, Tiger Woods says 4 hours.
I don't know what he gets now.
Yeah, now it's probably is 14 hours. Trying to rehab his leg, yeah.
It's like now he sleeps as long as an actual tiger. No.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we've gone long enough. We've rambled on. We can wrap this one up today.
Sure.
I hope you were entertained. Anyway.
Are you not entertained?
Yes. So, you will be able to keep track of us through Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That is all at TWTM Podcast. We have a Spreadshirt store in which you can get your exclusive TWTM merchandise, including the Rafts Are a Ride shirt. That is shop.spreadshirt.com/TWTM podcast. And who knows, maybe after this week or this weekend, I might be able to sneak some more footage in on YouTube.
And Facebook and Instagram are back up, so you can find us there.
Yeah, you can find us there as long as it's operating.
Until Facebook gets shut down by something, we'll see. But anyway, if you're wanting to plan a Disney trip, you can reach out to our friend, travel agent friend, Jillian Dilbeck. Her email address is jilldilbeck@gmail.com. If you're interested in booking Disney World, Universal, Disneyland, Disney Cruise, look her up there. Or you can also find her on our website, which is travelingwiththemouse.com. You can also email us, podcast@travelingwiththemouse.com.
So for Adam and Jason, my name is John. This has been Traveling with the Mouse, and we hope you will join us on our next trip.
I'm going to Disney World.
That's what I should sing.
Disney World. Maybe
Sing this tune like a bird. Sing the magic words.
Okay.
Oh, you don't remember it?
Yes,
That part?
I do.
Anyway.